Easy question. Just as a Michigan kid growing up here, watching Pavel Datsyuk, how special was he in your estimation as a kid watching him?
Yeah, he was my favorite player. I think watching the stuff he did out there was obviously a lot of fun to watch and a lot of fun to cheer for, and obviously the teams then were definitely easy to cheer for. So it was very special to grow up watching him and see how he plays at both ends of the ice, and what he can do with the puck is cool.
Have you told him that he was your favorite player?
No, I met him briefly.
That's too weird? Is that too weird?
No, I would, but I met him briefly in Toronto when we had the game there, but we didn't talk too much. But if I see him around today, maybe I'll let him know.
Would that be embarrassing? I mean, for guys to say, man, you were my guy when I was a kid growing up.
I don't think so. I would hope not. I think it's special when you're anyone's favorite player. So, I think it would, be cool for me to obviously be able to talk to him, and I think for him too.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
5 of the next 6 at home, Cat. How much of a boost did the home ice give you guys?
Yeah, it's huge. I think our building's loud, so we go out there and we gotta get a good jump right off this face-off. But I think overall, home ice, we need to take advantage of it, and playing on the road is hard, and so you definitely got to take advantage when you're at home.
What have been your impressions of Casper so far?
He's been great. I think he's he's really smart. He's got good hockey IQ, and his speed up the middle is great too. I think he's a very fast player and can think and play with the puck at that speed too. So it's fun, and I'm excited to play with him tonight. Yeah, I think that speed up the middle really opens up the ice, and I think he battles hard. He's got that grit to him, and he gets pucks back in the corner, and I think obviously the more we play with the puck, the better we are. So I think that's going to help us a lot, and hopefully have a good night.
The last time you played the Islanders, only 11 shots. Was that more of what they were doing, or was it sort of more attributed to what you guys weren't doing?
I think a little bit of both. I think I don't think we had our best game. We were definitely really flat. Obviously, didn't get much going. So, but to hold them to no goals, I think that was good for us to win on a night where we weren't our best. So, hopefully tonight we have a lot better, and we can still come out with the win.
Derek, last time you played the Islanders, one of those weird games where you only got 11 shots. So what do you need to do to generate more?
Yeah, that was one of our flatter offensive games. Weird game in that we kind of leaned on the lead there in the third, which certainly didn't help the volume. But it's probably got to look when we create offense. It's got to look like the Ranger game when we're clean out of our zone. We're puck retrieving, we're back on top of it. I still would like our group to get more pucks to the net and create maybe a little shot scramble confusion for the opposing team, but I think that's what's got to look like. But no, against the Islanders, you're not going to get any easy offense. You have to work for it.
I mean, they got some people out too, but they seem to be holding their own
as
much as they can too.
But it's the people out. I think they've taken a concerted effort as a group to check. And they've done that, and that's why I think you see them in these really low-scoring, tight games. Obviously, they have world-class goaltending. There's definitely a formula and a recipe there, and watching them in pre-scout.
Derek, with all the noise outside how do you guys just kind of keep that out in the distance?
Yeah, that's a good question because it's real. I just think it's very cliche-like, but you kind of got to keep within the process, and our process was no different coming off this road trip. Trying to build off some of the positives. We're trying to eliminate some of the negatives and play a complete game. Again, it's not all loss in that there's been some formula and recipe for some success here. It's just putting it all together.
When you play a really structured team like this, does that help you lock into your structure at all? Does it force you into that?
Yeah, it can. It certainly can. And again, when we've had some success, we've played a very similar structure type game. It can, but again, I still think it's about yourself, and again, just a couple things got away from us the last 2 games of that road trip. Maybe the tail end of the Anaheim on is just the odd mans, and giving up goals on the rush, which we haven't done all year. So I think that's just, again, looking at ourselves and our structure, and that'll be a point of emphasis.
How do you, I was watching the Nashville game last night, and had a situation where they have the wrong lineup, and it was just a random thought. What goes into picking your starting for that game? I'm just not necessarily.
No, that's a legit question.
Yeah, like I'm just.
I don't know, it's the Bible. If you'd watch our process and how we get that, our video coach does a lineup, one coach reviews it with them, the second coach reviews it with them, and then we review it as a group. I know it seems over the top anal, and if you watched it, you'd be like, it's a little over the top, but you just obviously want to avoid those type of situations. So it happens, I guess. Unique situation. Obviously, you don't like to see it. I mean, I believe both teams didn't even recognize it.
It's like 45 seconds.
45 seconds in. So it happens, but we have a very strong approach that it doesn't happen to us, and hopefully it won't.
As a coach, when you're picking the guys to start the game, what goes into that process, just to kind of build on that?
Usually matchup, sometimes identity. Go to our last game.
Yeah.
We want to get the cop line, give us a little identity, and they played that way throughout. So a lot goes into it, but usually at home it's the matchup you want.
Does that ever happen to you, like in the minors or in the USHL?
No, the one thing being a USHL GM is you have the experience of, you have those deadlines, no different priority, the protective lists, and those was like, that was, you go over it and go over it and go over it, and you go over it again, and then you wait and hit send. So it's a little experience in that, but it certainly happens. Obviously, we do not want to be a team that happens to.
Is everyone available tonight?
Everyone is available tonight. Yeah, we're going to have Mott in, and then we're going to have Albert Johansson in. Valeno and Hull will be out.
To go back to those rush chances against over the road trip, what was it you saw within your game that hadn't been?
Some turnovers, some little leaning forward, losing our F3, just some positional stuff. I think sometimes the game gets a little erratic and you start losing some focus, maybe start leaning a little bit. And again, I have no problem. I think we all know we have some lean offensive first DNA, but for the most part, those guys have taken upon themselves to be very responsible. So I just think we got away from it a little bit, and we'll need to reel that back in.
How real are the rhythms of a season? Because change can happen so drastically throughout the year.
It's unbelievable. Like, honestly, we win a good game in Pittsburgh. We're up 3-1 in Anaheim. We close that game out. We're talking about winning a road trip, and especially early on. Everything gets really exaggerated. It's just the reality of it. It's no one's fault. I think there's something to the reality of that 500 line. I know it sounds crazy, but you flip that Anaheim game, you're 8-8. We're not even talking about rhythms and ups and downs, but it's the reality of it. So again, I think it's just about the moment, play well tonight, and go from there.
As a hockey guy, do you have a Pavel Datsyuk memory as we celebrate him tonight?
Just an appreciation. It's not necessarily a memory. It's just obviously some of the things he does with the puck protection. I think it speaks volumes. There's a handful of Islander players showing up tonight wanting a jersey signed, and I think that's one of the most amazing compliments is when NHL, because NHL, you play in the league, you're a 1%er. And when NHL players are seeking autographs or sticks, I tell the story, Pav borrowed Alex Tanguay's gloves during development camp, and he left him a picture and a signed, grammatically brutal. He said one glove, thank you for the glove, and we got gloves. But even Tanguay was like, this is awesome. And Alex obviously played 1,100 games. 900 plus points. So I think that speaks volumes of the type of player when his peers in the league have such a respect for him.
Have you ever seen the video of Trevor Thompson trying to take the puck off?
No, but I will Google that now for some afternoon entertainment.
Hey, Derek, just the home, I mean, it's so early, but a couple of you guys kind of mentioned it yesterday. You need to be and want to be a better home team. Have you seen anything in these home games yet to this point?
No, I haven't hated. I mean, our last memory at home was obviously pretty good effort against the Rangers, I believe. So they kind of run into each other. But yeah, you have to be, and again, we're sitting here kind of below that line of where we want to be because we're sitting a game under 500. We'll take flirting with 500, being around 500 on the road. We've been fine on the road. We'll take what we've gotten for the most part on the road, but you got to win at home. And last year, fairly successful year, we found ourselves battling the standings. We took care of home ice, so it'll be a point of emphasis going forward, starting tonight. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, sir.